Hello, lovely Hallmark of Greatness enjoyer. Mark here. I just want to take a moment of your time to talk to you about something fun that me and my 100 Things We Learned from Film podcast co-host are doing. Last year we were gutted to hear about the passing of regular 100 Things listener and all-round lovely young man, James Allen, at only 37 years old. Earlier in 2024, James had been diagnosed with incurable bowel cancer, and in that time, Teesside Hospice provided James and his family with excellent palliative care. We wanted to support Teesside Hospice by raising some much-needed funds to continue helping enrich the lives of those with cancer in Teesside. So in a bid to raise some much-needed money for the fantastic charity, on Saturday, May the 3rd, John and I are walking the Ullswater Way and Dalmain Loop in the Lake District. That's 25 miles, or 6.5 lengths of Tarrant-sea, to keep it relevant to the podcast that you're listening to. We know times are tough at the moment, but would love if you could sponsor us with anything that you can spare. Or perhaps you know a builder or joiner that got rich taking money off Lime Productions whilst not finishing the work. I mean, send them our links, please. It's 100 Things We Learned from film.co.uk or justgiving.com/page/100 Things Pod. Also in the show notes, isn't it, Joe? So please, give anything that you can. If you don't, we might send Ray round to drink all your booze and knock up a really shit wall. Anyway, on with what you're here for.
The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Pod-Castaway, the show that is a big fan of antibiotics. I'm Joe, and with me as always, blowing off in a polytunnel, it's James.
Don't peek too close into the polytunnel, I'll tell you that much. Tunnel of doom.
And he's dying of a preventable disease in a boffy, it's Planty.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it? It can't be honest. That's exactly it's how it was planned years and years ago.
That's what the fortune teller said. It's either that or upside down in a pub toilet. If you want to keep up to date with all the Hallmark of Greatness gossip, you can find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you want to lurch towards us menacingly, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com. We're still on it. We're still doing Castaway.
Yeah.
I think we've gone past the halfway point.
Oh, have we? Oh, I'm kind of saddened by that, actually. I hoped that there was more.
Well, I don't know, because this is episode 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're 2 months in. So I think
Yeah,
by the end of this block, that's the end of that. And then I think it's like 3 months down the line. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, because these 2 episodes are shorter episodes as well. So either not a lot of stuff happened that was worth reporting on.
No, these next 2 episodes are 30 minutes each, and I don't know how they managed to distill it down to 30 minutes from the shit show that you've got coming to you, listeners.
It's all going wrong.
It's a couple of weeks, that's for sure. It really is.
Everything that we said that would come to pass, all the passive aggressiveness, all the not dealing with stuff and letting it just build up and resentment and puppies is going to come to a head in this episode, in the next couple of episodes, because
I think historically they would have done an episode every kind of couple of months or whatever, but they obviously found a really good cliffhanger here. So they went, because at the end of this episode, Lindsay says, and join us tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And I went, wow, hang on a second. Cliffhanger City, where it's all going to get resolved. And I thought, man, this is storytelling. This is storytelling we've never had up until now.
This is a Friday night jamboree, this, I think. Thursday night, and then the big reveal was the Friday.
This is 25 years ago.
Don't say that, because Dusty Bones full of green dust.
Dusty Bones, is that Lofty Wiseman's cousin?
That's his alter ego. That's his drag name. He's got big
Very
fruit
good.
on his head with a machete in it that he can pull out and stab people with if he wants to. Yeah, so we're still on Tarrant-sea. Everybody is now on the island, and I think all the building men have left.
Yeah. It starts innocuously enough because they're starting to decorate their pods now. We get a decorating pods montage.
And this is nice, but the shot before we get to this, the island looks like a fucking Fallout game.
It does.
It just looks like mess and shite strewn.
One of the pods has got a roof on it, and they've gone, one's enough, that'll do. We're not bothering.
They have forgotten all about that. There's nothing about turf in the rest of them, is there?
No, they did one, and then the other two, and you can see like the woods peeling away and that. But it's not their fault.
Oh yeah, it's the
No.
builders.
Oh no.
The Hobbit in me is furious when I look at this.
Yeah.
Well, I say they're decorating their pods. You're quite right to mention Fallout. They're decorating their pods the same way that a hermit crab will just use bits of like detritus around them to
they're
make
decorating
a
the
home.
house in the same way that I decorate my house in Fallout, just with
Yeah.
shit I've nicked off the floor. Because they're all robbing off each other as well. It's gone total anarchy. Like,
Well, they've all
Ray
had
is
Rogers.
well on his way to be a folk hero because he's nicked Dr. Rogers' furniture.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to give him some other furniture. And then there's this bit. Is it Toby? I can't remember the names now. They've all gone. Is it Toby, the Leeds lad?
Leeds.
Yeah,
Leeds.
Leeds.
Toby from Leeds.
Yeah, he's sticking loads of bits of wood on the inside, and he went, "I've just tried to decorate it like a pub." I'm like, mate, there's no beer. It's not a pub.
No. Like, why would you want to make it something? The only reason you go into a pub is because it has alcohol.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sit in one if there was no booze, because they're horrible places. Like, but again, young men will do young men stuff. We find out as well that they've changed. What's he called? Trev. He's no longer a driving instructor. He's an ex-driving instructor.
Oh, is it? Oh,
they've upgraded his Chiron at the bottom.
He's evidently had a letter, hasn't he?
What, from BSA?
They've seen him on the telly and they've gone, "Listen, son. Sorry, Bill Plant driving instructors have said no more.
We've come round. We've
No
took the
relation,
left-hand drive
by
out
the
of
way.
your car
No
and your special pedals out."
And we're taking your magnetic L's as well. Not my magnetic L's.
But yeah, and I think they're trying to make it more homely. I think the doctors are still just in the house on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
I just still
pissing everybody
whinging.
else off about it. Yeah, and they're still going on about it. The one of the points of contention is the schoolhouse still isn't ready. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Right, but it
it's
is
still
ready. It
not
just
ready, 'cause
leaks a bit.
There's a
Well-
leak in the corner. Well, I thought they couldn't grow anything. Here we are.
And here's the thing. He's really annoyed, isn't he? Is Dr. Twat. And he goes, it's all we can teach him there is the 3 R's. The 3 R's? It's the year 2000, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Reading. Yeah. Also, your missus is the teacher, so you're going to be teaching them about like flat Earth and Kennedy assassination and the moon landings aren't real.
I think they're doing that all in the farmhouse, and they're like, I don't want kids everywhere, because that's what he sounds like. He's so hard to like.
He doesn't want
Family
other
is
kids
so
there.
hard
He
to
wants
like.
Tarquin and Felix, I think they're called.
Oliver and Felix. Those are cats' names. Cats'
Yeah.
names.
Right? They're allowed in the house, maybe, but other kids, no.
Yeah.
And
and
they've
he has-
one lesson. They've got Ron teaching them, and Ron's just put a big rubber snake on the floor. What's
They've got
that
to learn about
lesson
rubber
about?
snakes.
He has this analogy, Dr. Twat, by the way, paging Dr. Twat. And his analogy is rubbish because he says the architects haven't done what they need to do. Now, if I didn't cure anybody, then they would never come back. Mate, architects don't cure people. What are you fucking talking about?
It's a sign of a bad architect.
An architect who tries 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Times a
different
lady.
cures. It's like, someone's done their arithmetic in the house. haven't they?
7 snakes are there anymore?
Yeah, he calls them cures. And all right, first of all, fixing a leak isn't a cure.
No,
What is
also,
this?
that's not an architect's responsibility.
No, it's
Question
not.
mark?
That's acceptable.
And as we
thirdly,
find,
you're not in charge and you never will be, because
No.
you sound like you're either drunk or on the brink of an orgasm.
Well, as we find out, he's permanently neurotic as hell, isn't he? We find out later on.
But my favourite bit here is Des putting him in his place.
Yeah, they
because he
summon
says,
the architect for his many crimes.
but Des,
Get the
Des
Wicker
says,
Man.
Des says to him, "You weren't here at the start. You weren't part of the first moon landing when
Yeah,
we all turned up and people were doing things, and you weren't here. So, if you'd have been here and you'd have mentioned those things, we might have been a little bit further down the line." And I'm not a massive Des fan, but again, up in the estimation, and just when you think the Doctor couldn't go any further down in my estimation, he sinks to rock bottom.
But they bring over the architect, and some
Poor
random
bastard.
guy is admonishing him. I don't know who that guy is with the hair.
Oh
Warren,
no, that's
the
Mike.
father of Kira.
Oh, is that
Oh
Mike?
no, that
The
wasn't Mike. Yeah, that was
Who
some
the fuck
other.
is he?
Yeah,
Some
that was
random
somebody
dude
else.
who's not been mentioned at all
Yeah.
until this
Father of
point.
Kira. Who's
Yeah.
Kira?
I
know.
don't care about these kids. But he's like, and it should be fixed. And I was like, but this is the best bit. This is all intercut with Liz. Is it Liz going? Well, there's two types of people. Those that'll go out and fix it, and those that'll sit there and blame it on other people. And I'm like, go on, Liz.
Yeah, Liz is the best of us, and I think Liz is a great mirror for the viewers. I was thinking this the other day. I think she is the most normal. She's in a relationship with Des, right? Are they married?
Yeah.
Well, so,
yeah.
but
I've just got Liz equals sociopath. I don't know what that
But
is.
other than that, I think she's like the mirror, like of us. I think we watch Liz and we're kind of like, that's how we would behave. We hope. We like to think.
What is it? You just got put a bit of tarp over it or something.
Well, he just says, you should stick a fire on.
This is it. He says it's pissing in with wind and rain. He says to light a fire, and then he says, Andy, the architect, he's called. He says, well, it's much better than it was 3 weeks ago when I was here. And whoever the bloke that's admonishing him says, yeah, because it's not pissing in with rain anymore. You're right. I don't know how weather works.
It's one of those, and I'm like, you could still teach in there.
Yeah,
I guess.
Of course you can.
This is like in a corner of the. It's
You just put a lot of sandbags or something there, or fix it.
You said learning experience for the kids. This is what mold in your lungs.
None of you, Tarquin and Felix, you're never gonna have to do manual labour. You'll pay people for it. But you other kids, Cuthbert and I don't know the other daft
Dibble
kids,
and Grub.
Yeah, you'll probably need to know this. Don't learn off Ray, because looking at Ray's bricklaying later on, oh my god,
a lot of fun with that one. Yeah,
it's not the only thing that they're carping on about. So the other thing that the Stevenson family, the GD family, are doing. Rosemary Stevenson has made a loaf of bread that not even Peter's angle grinder will cut through. Did you see this?
Yeah, I think
this from.
Why don't you build a schoolhouse out of it? That's what I want to know. Make loads more. It's fine.
And it'll be so dry as well.
Again, put that there. It'll suck all the moisture up, like when you put an onion in a room you've painted.
Well, somebody's helpfully put a bit of Lurpak next to it.
Yes.
Remember when that was affordable?
When it wasn't behind a security tag in the supermarket, you had to go and ask a man to get it from you, like Argos.
Do you have to give him a number written down on a slip of paper?
I'm not getting into it again, but yeah, I had to go and buy some meat the other week, and I had to go take a picture of some meat to a counter, and then a man brought me some meat out the back, and I thought, this is a dystopian world we're living in now. That's the best bit about buying meat, on the rare occasions that I do it, is that you get to pick the bit that you want, not what, someone gives you.
Yeah. Ben is unhappy with the bread, but Rosemary's behind him, and he goes, oh, no, it's really lovely, and puts it in his mouth and probably needs dental work after that.
He is a suck up.
Yeah.
How do you mess up bread? Like that badly that an angle grinder won't go through it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I've said in jest. Peter does get his angle grinder out.
No, it is a genuine
and it can't
doesn't
go
do
through
anything to it.
No.
Yeah.
It cuts like
incredible.
Tiny furrow into it before.
Put it in a brick kiln. What have you done with it?
Have you mistaken flour for sand?
Cement.
Well, it could be the saboteur.
Oh, Jesus.
The ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, right, we're getting into it. I forgot it was this one.
The excitement for Ben is that they're all going to starve to death. He's very excited about this. Oh, well, this is what I was expecting, that we were all going to have no food.
This is the thing I was a bit kind of annoyed about, because they know that the weather's bad and they're at the mercy of the sea and like the sky. So you would ration stuff a bit. So you had, because you've got nothing in reserve. All you've got is smoke alarms and like candelabras or whatever it was under that big tarp. Like, so have something in reserve in case they can't come over.
Yeah, it's been 10 days since the last delivery, Toby points out in a VT, and they're running out of food. I think sometimes the sea is just so choppy that they can't send anything over.
No,
they can't
I
send
get
a helicopter
it,
over, can't send a boat.
No,
so this is going to happen.
Yeah, so you'd think
this is going to happen through like April.
Yeah.
A delivery was supposed to turn up every fortnight, and we see a boat turn up with a box full of donuts and UHT milk.
Yeah.
Julie Corrigan says that one bottle is contraband. I believe her.
No, it was a bottle of Jameson's, that weren't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it looked like a bottle of Jameson's that fell out of a box, and she just like surreptitiously popped it under her top, and I'm like,
There's a bit of VT where they're arguing over an egg. I thought you lads would enjoy that. It's well, look, he's just had an extra egg. I mean, you should maybe give it to a child.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
Mike.
but I'm sure no, it wasn't Mike. I'm sure it was Professor Dr. Jones as well. Again, it was like people are taking things, and that's very bad to see. Maybe that egg should go to one of your children. Yeah,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Let's keep it in the farmhouse. Yeah. Liz mentions that people are just grabbing like half a box of stuff that's meant for the whole group at this point. I bet it's the thieving Stevensons.
The Stevensons. The Stevensons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're the doctors, and we need the chocolate fingers to survive. You know what you've done now as well.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah,
because,
you've added nothing to
I
this.
think it's Liz who says, like, why has he come here? He doesn't like dirt. He doesn't like cold. He doesn't like all this stuff. Why has he showed up? And I'm like,
doesn't like distributing medicine in a pandemic.
He doesn't believe in antibiotics.
He doesn't like weather.
Or people, or even his own wife, because she's got a face you never get tired of kicking.
Absolutely.
Ray has. They've also talked about the work rota again, and Ray has refused to cook as his skills are needed elsewhere. We find this out from Peter, who has got way too many meatballs in those pants.
I wasn't entirely sure what Peter was cooking there, to be honest. I thought it was Mr. Brain's faggots at first.
They did, yeah.
Giant pale meatballs.
Giant pale meatballs or potatoes. Possibly potatoes to be served with potatoes.
I did think at this point, if Peter and Ray aren't getting on, this has got to be the end for Ray. Surely it's trouble in paradise because these two were thick as thieves.
Whoever blinks first, though, innit?
Yeah, I guess so. Now, I did promise a little bit more insight, gentlemen, and I think it's time to share with you a wonderful gift that I've been bought.
The book!
I have got Castaway, the book. Listeners,
he's holding up the book.
Man,
it is
so
boy. That is
whoa,
a tome.
that's a
that is a tome.
Has it got one of those like bits where it's got colour pictures in the middle?
Yes, it has, and it is
boy.
575 pages.
Oh, what a treat!
Now, I only got it a couple of days ago. It was bought for me by Rachel, my wife, who is easily this podcast's biggest fan. She's
listening to it on holiday. That's
absolutely ignoring me on the beach and listening to this podcast. Although I guess I was on the podcast, so kind of. Written by Neil.
Just gets through your bits.
Mark McCrum. Mark McCrum,
who I think was the singer of Sugar Ray.
Every morning. So
get up, have an egg.
It is full of great stuff. I've only read chapter 8, or most of chapter 8 so far, but I am going to read a couple of little bits from it this episode, if you'll allow me, of course.
Oh, no,
gentlemen.
please do. I am
fucking lovely.
Cock a hoop about this.
I will go back and I'll read the other stuff, and I'm sure there'll be stuff that's there. So
when we do the Redux episodes,
this is from Ray's diary. All right, so
Jesus Christ, $5. You got
heavily stained.
Saturday night, wrote Ray in his diary, that same weekend of 20th of February, me and Peter drank 2 bottles of whiskey. We did some laughing, then about 2:30 a.m. there were a full moon. Peter put on his monk's habit with a big hood and went on a walk. I've been winding people up about a mad monk in 1546 butchered alt people in Tarrantshire because they were pagans. Anyway, Peter walked over to the schoolhouse and there were no electric as windmill had stopped. It were an eerie night on way back. Sandy and Tammy saw the monk in the moonlight about 30 feet away. Tammy said, "Who's that?" At which Peter just stopped, turned around, not seeing his face, they asked again. At which he started to walk towards them. They nearly wet their pants and ran and woke Warren up. Warren come out with an axe, but when he asked who's there, Peter turned, said nothing and shuffled off. Warren was scared and all, so he didn't follow. I couldn't stop laughing. When he got back, I had tears in my eyes. Also, I were legless. The glum faces in the morning told us that didn't go down very well.
Wow.
If I didn't see you reading that from the book, I would have thought you'd have made that up. That is perfect.
It's all there in chapter 8, one down, page 192.
A couple of points. A bottle of whiskey each is even for me at my lowest.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
totally.
I can't do that because I'll just pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But to then go, I'm going to walk around this abandoned island in the pitch black. Why is he put on monks? Oh man, that's beautiful.
And then to nearly get attacked by an axe-wielding maniac. It's got it all. It really has it all.
Also, like, where was Ray? Was Ray hiding behind him? Like, Was he like
In the
salacious?
He was
Yeah,
lower
sure.
down in the monk's
Put
gown.
Peter on your shoulders because he's got a squat body. That's brilliant.
It's good, isn't it?
It's just wacky times on the island. Everyone's
Can I
battered.
just suggest though? Anyway, I was legless. Needless to say, I had the
Episode
last laugh.
title.
That's the title of the episode. There, get my pen.
Peter says here. Well, I'm just going to suggest that maybe the kitchen could be populated with a group that like to be in the kitchen. Come on, Peter. Just tell us you're a big sexist without telling us you're a big sexist.
Yeah. Well, what
We know
does
what you're
Peter
getting
do? Like, he doesn't seem to do anything apart from sit on his throne.
Well, according to his interview, he does everything. But yeah,
and terrorize women at night.
well, he says that Peter says it's not fair because the kitchen shifts are 12 hours, so it doesn't quite equal out to. I don't know because I would have thought Ray's building
You're
something.
not
Don't know
cooking
what.
for 12 hours.
No, you're not. But I think it includes like the cleaning and stuff like that, so it's a longer shift.
Well,
But
They're
anyway,
busy
Ray says
moulding the meatballs out of the wedding singer. That's what they're doing.
combine them all into one giant pale meatball.
Mega ball. Yeah. Meat what?
Multi-ball. Ray says he can't control me, and he goes off and walks into the livestock pens, presumably to eat a sheep raw out of just sheer frustration.
He makes his way through this fence that looks like it's been put up to keep velociraptors in. It's huge.
Those are right because they've said as well, and now they've been there a while. Stuff's getting done. They've built the windbreaks for the polytunnel, so they'll stop taking off, which I think are the raptor pens.
Right. Okay.
Which it just looks like that cheap, like plastic netting.
That's what it is.
Which I guess stops wind, slows it down. I don't know. And they've done some other bits and pieces as well. But I can't. At this point, I was like, Ray's right. Like, if his skills are better used elsewhere, which, as it turns out, they're not. But like, he should be off doing that. And like, again, like we said when we were talking about it, I'd gladly spend 12 hours in the kitchen.
Yeah, he wants to do a straight swap with someone called Cassie, who I don't
Whoever
remember
she is,
at all.
yeah.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's just invented people. Like, who is Warren?
No, Cassie is the Seventh-day Adventist's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
'cause-
see a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
Gordon and Cassie, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they've sort of vanished. So yeah, fair enough.
Gordon
we get some
turns
The
Like-
Mad Monk got him. That's what it was.
the light relief now because it's Beardgate. This is what you live for. Toby, Mike, Trev, and Ben, the only interested people on Tarrant-Say, have made an agreement about growing a beard. But Ben has now got his head full of all these letters that have arrived from girls, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna shave it all off."
They said we think he's been trimming it because they've all got kind of like thingies.
Mike's got a great big bushy beard.
Mike's got a great big bushy beard. Trev looks like me when I try to grow a beard. Like he can't. But but Thingies hasn't really, and so he's trimmed it, and then he shaves it off, and then they put like a cone of shame on him.
They do, yeah. The first one to drop out, whatever.
But he also
the ignominy plank is what I've dubbed it.
Now I'm calling it. Ben Fogle looks better with a beard.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's got one now.
I think he is, yeah, like a little stubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
he tries to weasel out of it. He says it wasn't a bet; it was a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
Right. And also,
I feel like it ought to have been more stringently. Like you have to do something if
And he
you
was
break
like-
this agreement.
And yeah, well, they should have like. I thought
That's
it was
what
going
it
to be
should
like
have
a rugby boys thing, like you've got to drink our wee or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think
Got to
there's
eat a
nothing
giant
else to do.
meatball.
Eat one of Peter's meatballs. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
No, let's not make that a thing.
Mike's hat, by the way, makes him look like a ninja.
Yeah,
What's
he's
going
wearing
on?
a
There's
lot
like a
recently.
thing around, and
Interesting.
Together with a
hats.
beard, he's probably on a watch list by now.
That's why he's off the BSA's books. Yeah. But yeah, they shave, and then they give him the thing, and it's a bit. He says we all agreed to take the shave on March the 1st. I'm like, that's not the start of summer.
No.
When the clocks go forward, is the start of summer.
Yeah.
If they do that in Scotland, I don't know. I'm assuming they do. I
We're
don't know.
hurtling towards another big disagreement, which is puppy discussion time.
Jesus.
I think this was mentioned in the last one as well. Julie and Ron want a puppy. I don't even know where this dog's come from, but it's given birth to a
It's
litter.
someone's dog.
It's Lady Diana's dog.
Ah,
Is it?
Yeah,
Right, okay.
and I kind of thought, hang on a second, this dog's pregnant. I don't know, it doesn't kind of work out for me timing wise. But it turns out the dogs usually gestate in about 68 days, so it would work out.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just on the night before they left.
pretty much. Yeah, they've done it on purpose. You know, she's done it on purpose.
Ray's party. He's putting his face in that stripper's knockers, and the dog's getting pumped out the back.
10 dogs on the island now,
Wow.
gentlemen. 10. Nearly as many as there
already
are
has a
children.
dog. He has a dog called Charlie who's 13, so he's clearly lining up another one.
He says
Well,
that, doesn't he?
He says
Yeah.
it'll help me when Charlie eventually
And I
dies.
thought,
And
okay.
It makes sense, but also, I mean, a puppy's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
As
But what
you
else
know,
are you
is
fucking doing?
actually building this stuff?
Oh, yeah, I guess
you know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We get classic Ray should have been drowned at birth. I'd have done it, and then he walks off like Oscar the Grouch if he played Gandalf. Like,
Dr. Roger, of course, doesn't want them around, and he's close to quitting.
He says,
of course you are, mate.
Puppies are a game changer for me. To
Everything's a
me,
game changer
this
for
is
you.
another reason for Roger just to fuck off back to the mainland. And he says, I don't want people to think I'm a quitter on a one-issue basis. You're a quitter on a one-issue basis every episode.
You were crying because you didn't have trousers the other week.
I mean, I would be
His
upset.
family
if I
are
didn't have
barely
trousers.
sharing the mansion house that they got. So this is the problem, that they don't want the dogs to come in the house.
I don't want to
I
see
think
if I don't see the dogs or hear them or
Yes.
smell them,
Yeah,
or they jump
that's
up at me.
right.
And I'm like,
I've got this down
Oh,
as a
go,
quote.
go.
If the two puppies stay and I never see them, I've got absolutely no objection. If I never tread in a poo and my sons don't get toxicora worms and they don't leap up at me while I'm trying to eat, then I've got no problem. Now, like, obviously, all of those things are going to happen. Like,
Yeah,
that's
of
the
course.
lowest bar.
I mean,
like,
you should
could
clean
just
up after
say,
your dog poo,
keep them out of
but
the
also
house.
it's that rainy and blowy up there. That dog poo's going to be dissolved in no time anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Or add it into your human poo, and you've got. Can you use dog poo for fertilizer? I'm assuming you can. It's
Assume
poo.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's the thing, is they're not going to have worms. Like,
and also, yeah, they'd have been wormed, and where are you going to get worms
Where
from
are
on
they
an
gonna get
island
worms
that's
from?
uninhabited?
That's right, yeah.
well, yeah.
Eating that seal that Thingy skinned, possibly. But, that's a story for another time.
I've just put, even his toddler looks bored as fuck at him.
Can you imagine that being your dad? Both of them being your parents.
Man. Trish says he's the only doctor I've seen that needs a doctor. So.
I missed that. That's good.
Yeah, was it Trish? So she said, yeah, he's so neurotic about everything. Why did he choose this profession? And I went, I'm assuming he's private.
The narrator says the debate continues to rage, and then we get a very polite conversation between Pat and Ron.
Well, Ron basically goes, all right, then fine, I won't have one.
Yeah, he's not allowed to. Well, he feels like he's being.
Yeah, he feels like I'm constantly
gonna go on
watched.
about.
There's going to be issues. Anytime the dog has a wee or has a poo, they're going to be looking and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And listeners, you know how I've been towards Ron from the start, and this is the first time I really feel sorry for Ron.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
he is not being allowed what other people are being allowed, Jules. But again, I'm not going to be unkind to Jules because she's just lovely.
Yeah. Well, Jules also, she's like, well, I helped give birth to them.
Yeah.
Not like that. I was like, no, obviously not, unless it's some 40 and times shit going on that island.
Peter said, Jules, you don't want a puppy, you want a baby. Not that I'm trying to push myself forward for the job, you understand.
Have you still got that crystal, Jules?
And they say, and they have a vote, and they go, all right, Jules, you can have a baby, you can have a dog. And she goes, I'm a mummy. And my heart melted a little bit.
She's been solid, actually.
Yeah.
I like it.
I said some of
Don't
them have.
mind her at all.
Is this where we cut to no one shagging?
This is Shag, Marry, Kill, which I've written is in the diary room. But as per the book, is actually filmed by Ron.
Yes.
So when you see various
I noticed this.
various other bits of recordings, it's often Ron because he just fancied a bit of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you can hear him. You can hear him sort
You
of
can
like
hear him
posing
asking
questions
Ben
and stuff.
about-
He's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, absolutely.
Shouting suggestions in the background. Philly and Tammy talk about how all the lads want a shag, and then it cuts to Toby and Trev just obsessing about it.
Women I've written down here. Don't know what that is, but I quite like women.
Never a truer word spoke.
And then they ask Ben about when was the last time he had some flipsy flopsy,
which I've
which
never
I think
heard of. Which
is
the
a
most
posh way of calling sex.
Yeah, it's the most upper middle class. Sort of.
Keep going.
Well,
higher than
yeah.
that.
It's whiff waff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly what it is. Tammy and Philly, I think Ron says something like, "Oh, what about Pete? Would you kiss Pete?" And the line is something like, "He's got custard and biscuits in his beard." And I thought, "Ooh, I feel a bit seen here."
Said one of them says, "I could cut his. I will stop the tonguing and have a snack, or just cut his head off." And I was like, "All right, that took a turn."
Yeah. Okay, he's missed a twit, but I don't think he deserves that.
But no, they're like Ben. Obviously, is fine, and I think like some of the other ones, they're like
Toby. They say like Tammy says,
Toby,
I'd
if
do
he had
Toby.
a shave. If he had a shave. Now the young castaways here, I think we should call them. I'm not
the Hitler Youth,
not the Hitler Youth. Yeah.
All the young dudes.
I'm well into the young castaways. I think they are I think they're fun. I think they're light-hearted. I think there's constantly just some sort of jovial stuff going on.
They could frolic in a fountain to
absolutely
90s music.
They're also the only ones getting on with stuff. It looks like.
Exactly. Yeah. Or not, as the case may be.
Well,
but it is what it is, you know.
Well, it's because Trev keeps wearing that flat cap all the time now. That's not doing any favours for him. He's moved on from the balaclava to the flat cap.
What I did.
Julie's got a big announcement now to making a Soviet hat. It's not the fall of the wall.
Jesus, I loved this hat, Julie. By the way. I was well into this hat.
I covet that hat. Ray has decided to leave, she says.
Yeah.
He's locked himself in his room. It's either that or a bothy. He's always locking himself in places.
She says, nobody wants Ray to go, and I'm calling bullshit.
About 90% of the people on the island went, fucking yes.
And she's at the door, isn't she? She's going, come out, Ray, come out. You're going to miss so much, sweetheart. It's finally coming together, darling. She's lovely, if not just misplaced.
Yeah.
But
he's pissed like that man in Airline who's just in a disabled toilet off his face.
He's refusing to come out like a petulant child.
Yeah.
And even Ron comes over. Ron, fair play, where is the old twat? As he walks over to him.
I love that they've all got varying, like they all come over to shout through the door at him, and they all go, come on now, come on, what you doing? Is everything okay? Come on now. And it's varying levels of, what do you want? Fuck off. And then Ron gets, you're the 10th one I've told to go away.
What is it with you and you fucking people? So he says at one point. It's quality stuff.
Bring me the monk.
They discuss why he's so unhappy, and apparently he's so unhappy because he built a meat store. It was knocked down. His bridge was condemned, and they pulled it down. He blew up a toilet. Now, I felt like I needed more than just a passing reference to all of these situations, but it was very much like the king in the castle in Life of Brian. We built a castle on a swamp, and it fell down.
The third one, that burnt down, fell over, then sank into the swamp.
She says the lids he built on the toilets blew off. Well, that's the beans from Christmas. Everyone was saying that.
Maybe saw the potatoes. But I think it shows Fogel smashing the meat store that he made.
Yeah.
And, I'm not...
It does feel very 1989, actually, doesn't it? It's the wall again,
Get your big Russian hats on.
I expected Ron to come over in a light-up jacket singing.
Jump in my car. We're going to the Boffy. But again, there's also 8 breeze blocks missing. I'll tell the children.
Brilliant.
But looking at it, I'm not, again, as I've said before, I'm not a builder, but that was not well built.
No,
there was
a
massive line of mortar between like 2 bits of it, and it's supposed to be like, I can see why it was. I mean, if there wasn't health and safety people there, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah,
but
there weren't health and safety people there because Mike takes over. Nobody's got any goggles on or anything like that. Heaves away at it, and a block falls off and damages a pipe.
And they all just laugh, and I'm like, fucking what is happening?
If you'll allow me, gentlemen, a little story of Ray's history of building. Ray's history of building. Ray had a fund of stories to tell about his many years as a builder and a builder's agent, not just in England but in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa too. You've got to travel, he says. If you're going to wait for building work to happen in your own town, well, it gradually runs out. He adds, into the whole Our Wiedersehen pet thing long before the TV series. He'd been taking English bricklayers over to the continent for years. We're the best, the fastest, and the best. And they did everything for us, all new equipment. They couldn't have done more for us. When the job in Holland finished, me and 4 of the lads decided to go over the border into Germany. I'm one of those, you know. If I get to a town, I seem to land on my feet. I've done it all my life. Good digs or a good job. There you go.
Oh, Ray in Africa is surely
It's
that's
like
coming up.
Shaft in Africa, isn't
Africa. I'm not going to read the full thing, but the reason Ray's no longer a builder is he did his back.
Right.
Job.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was told that was it. He had a disc that would have been an issue going forward. So no,
Maybe
I'd
he
like
should
to
have been in
find-
the kitchen.
He's I thought British builders, we're the quickest, the best, and the best. just twice with the best there, right? Couldn't think of a third one, could you not? Yeah, but he's again, if that's his work, I don't know, right?
I want to know why his first bridge was condemned.
Oh, because it was made of
Where
fucking
is this
rice
bridge?
paper, probably.
because he didn't have a bridge throwing machine. That's
Oh,
why.
don't start this
Don't
again.
bring that up.
I
It
hate
divides me and Joe.
I tried to look up a video to see it in action, and I wasn't old enough to look at it.
There's
I didn't
a
have
bit
clearance.
There's this bit where they basically make Ray look really menacing with this slow motion walking towards the camera. I expected it to say rowdy people.
Well, that's the thing, right? They've put down like decking basically to make a path, so you don't have to trudge through the mud and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming at some point he's made a bridge over a bit by just
Yeah.
throwing it over this. That'll do.
Across a culvert.
Yeah,
They
and
can't condemn this.
condemn this. Points at his crotch. Or his spine in this case.
Indeed.
But yeah, no, because then they just say like he comes out eventually, and
Looking like the gothest member of Metallica, by the way.
he does. He looks like one of the Wurzels who just got really into heroin. God bless him.
He's just walking around in slow motion
But he's
everywhere.
just
I didn't know
walking
if they had
round
the
and
slow
round.
motion button on or if he was just, I don't know, wading through tree.
But yeah, they managed to get him out and like to talk to him, and he just walks around. They call it the village as well, which I liked, which is a grandiose term for
a couple of sheds,
a house, 2 sheds, and a shed covered in dirt. But whatever. We all got to start somewhere, and it takes a village. But yeah, he just wanders round and like doesn't talk to anyone, and he's made his mind up. He's going, and then he's like, "But I might not."
Yeah. So clearly he's been drinking in that room for about 7 days straight.
Yeah, he's I think when he says he's giving away all my possessions, Tanya's having the mirror and that all the kids have had the sweets and there's no beer left.
Yeah.
That's why he's going.
Yeah.
Because he's drank an entire year's worth of beer, homebrew beer, and I'm assuming shoe polish that he's made into some kind of toilet wine. In 2.5 months. Which, as we find out, if they're caning a bottle of whiskey a night,
2 bottles,
well,
it's going to
between
run out.
then like ain't gonna last. And especially, I think it's when they're doing the chocolate heist at the beach. I think Ray says at weekends it's a free for all. I don't know whether he means sexually or just with like the Crawford's biscuit selection, the Peak Free Trotsky assortments. But yeah, I think that's about it for that episode.
That's it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Is this
the
to be
cliffhanger.
continued?
But
Yeah,
and the bit after it shows the clip from the last one where he's like, "Don't stop filming me. I'm not part of this experiment." Again, which we've already seen. But looks like Ray's going.
Does.
And it's sad.
First, but by no means the last. So hang on to your guesses. We'll see who's next. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Strap in for part 2.
Get in the water, or I'll kiss your daughter. Drinking from a puddle, giving her a cuddle. Lofty facts.
Yeah, Lofty's rule for today is ration your sweat, not your water, in caps. Breathing, sweating, and urinating will help you lose up to 2 pints of water every 24 hours. Except I think he's put it as loose 2 pints of water every 24 hours.
I let loose 2 pints of water every 24 hours.
he was too busy letting loose some water to spell correctly.
What did he say? Did he say breathe your sweat in? Did he say?
No, breathing or sweating.
Breathing, sweating, and urinating.
I have to do all of those. The 3 of the things that prove I'm alive. Mrs. Gren, movement, reproduction, excretion. Like, is Lofty a Jaeger? Has he got a little man? Is he that guy from Men in Black? He's got a little. The belt is on.
Well, he is now.
A little
'cause
crang
he's
in him.
proper old now. He's like
I
in
would
his 80s,
still
maybe
buy
90s
him a
or
pint.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But he needs the water.
He
He needs the moisture.
He needs the moisture. Moisture. You got to spray him with a bottle every so often to keep him
A
down.
lot of these are about water, by the way.
He's obsessed. He loves his water. Whether he's drinking from a puddle or giving your daughter a cuddle, remain moist. More Lofty's top tips.
Bring your water to the slaughter.
That's it. I need to know someone with good Photoshop skills. Picture of Lofty with just stay moist. Your country needs you to stay,
To stay
moist.
moist, yes.
That's a t-shirt. I'll buy one. That's that. Your favourite lines from the episode or bit? Because lines are thin on the ground.
Puppies are a game changer for
me. His meat store had to be taken down as soon as it was built because it was just wrong.
Maybe it was cursed. Maybe it was built on like an ancient bit of Tarensay, where
The Tarensay burial
so.
ground.
where the Tarensay monk committed the massacre. You see how it all comes together.
If I never tread in a poo, I've got no objection.
Goodbye, boys and girls.
So long.
You want to live forever, you filthy apes.